Hi.
What the heck was that?
I don't know. We are too tired for this. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Oh my god, it's action film life. Or
Woo!
maybe I'll just change this episode to action film hell.
Well, I feel like that paints a negative brush on 2 of 3 of these films.
Yeah, it does. Oh my god, it is the next episode of our action film review series, where we've moved full steam ahead from Charlie's Angels territory and just decided to review movies based on TV shows.
I mean, they've already got all the characters. How could they possibly mess them up?
We're about to find out. Oh my god, I don't even know where. I mean, like, one of these films we are
One of these films is not like the other.
Yeah, we are. I mean, how long ago was it when we watched that final film? It's like,
I feel like it was an eternity ago.
It's been at least like 2 weeks.
Several minutes.
It's been like 2 weeks in real time.
It might
and
as
by
well have
God,
been
I
years.
still don't fully comprehend
I don't
that
think
final film.
I don't think we're supposed to. But anyway, spoilers. Can't possibly tell everyone which film we're talking about.
I mean, it's in the thumbnail. They can take an educated guess.
Oh no! Look away, everyone!
Look away from the thumbnail that you definitely clicked on to
eyes.
get to this video.
Oh, no.
Oh my God!
Fred, you ruined it.
I ruin everything, Lottie. You've known me for long enough to know
that's-
that's true.
Well, I don't know what to
wanna
say.
Well, he's already put himself down so much. I don't know what else I can possibly add to the conversation.
So I just won't.
Oh, yeah. So, the 3 films we've got this week. We're going to start with our, probably our most grounded film, I think.
Yeah.
The most realistic, quote-unquote, of the films we have this week, which is Miami Vice.
Miami Vice. Based on a TV show.
Well, they all are. You know,
But we fun enough, I don't think either of us have ever seen Miami Vice, the TV show.
Yeah, I've never seen any episodes from any of the films this week. So I've not seen any Miami Vice.
You've not seen 18?
I've not seen any 18.
18's everywhere.
18 was everywhere and I missed all of it.
Oh, Fred. I'll try and find an episode for you somewhere.
So this is what I mean. Next episode is a whole different matter. Let's be honest.
Okay.
But yeah, like most of the TV series that we've covered, the same is true with Charlie's Angels. I've never seen an episode of Charlie's Angels, or Dukes of Hazzard, which we covered.
No.
So, like, you know, it's interesting when they make films based on, like, TV shows. It's like, everyone knows this famous property, and I'm just
Well,
like,
they
oh, no.
probably do. I mean, they are American TV shows, so I'm assuming that more people in America saw them.
This is true.
They do get syndicated here, but sometimes to channels that we just don't get.
Yes, especially when we were growing up in, like, what, mid-90s, like,
I had
there were
4.5 channels.
Yeah, it's so weird to think of the times where we had, like, 5 channels if you were living in the right area.
Depends how. Yeah, I was on top of a hill. I got the sound of Channel 5 and the picture of Channel 3.
Never. Oh my God! You never got the sound of CITV.
No, I did. But if I tried to get to Channel 5, it would just show me the pictures of ITV, Channel 3, and the sound of Channel 5, so I could never quite watch Channel 5.
Oh, I see. I get what you're talking about now. Anyway, let's move swiftly.
Lottie, born in the 1800s.
You're born way back in the 1800s. I'm 205. I don't know how time works. Shut up. Miami Vice. Right. IMDb, 6 out of 10. Solid, just straight down the middle, 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I expected them to give more, to be fair.
And then the Metacritic score is a 66.
Again, I expect that to be higher, but then I always expect these to be higher.
Yeah, you always expect people to be more generous than they are with review scores and everything. I guess that's why they're critics. They have to go critiquing things.
We're comparing these to other action films. They're comparing these to like Oscar-nominated films, so maybe that's why they're not quite so high.
Especially with Miami Vice, which is directed by... I am pretty sure the director is an Oscar winner, but I'm not entirely sure.
It wouldn't surprise me. It's a very well put together film. Yeah,
but my favourite part of this episode, Lottie, has got to be you reading the plot synopsis of everything. So would you do the? You thought I forgot, didn't you?
Yeah, I was kind of hoping you would. Okay.
Yeah. Give us the plot synopsis.
I'm going to do this first time. Psyching myself up for it. I think I'm going to laugh now.
Okay, cool. Right, and scene.
Based on the 80s TV action drama, this updated... no, that didn't go well at all.
Yay.
I'm just making up words now. Based on the 1980s TV action drama, this update focuses on Vice detectives Crockett and Tubbs as their respective personal and professional lives become dangerously intertwined.
Hey, she got through.
Second time's the charm.
Yeah, off camera you did that much better.
Yeah, it's always the way. When no one's around to hear it, I nail it first time.
You did. Well, yeah, you did nail that first time as well. You had a little bit of... I think you had a little bit of a wobble at Crockett and Tubbs, but at the same time...
Crockett and Tubbs, I mean, they're quite funny names, which is why I don't think they mention them a lot in the film. Like, no one was saying Crockett and Tubbs a lot in this film.
That's the thing, like... Yeah,
very serious film.
Yeah, now, I was talking to my dad about this earlier on, actually, and like...
Has he seen Miami Vice? Can he tell us if it was a serious TV show?
Well, that's the thing, because I said to him, when I think of Miami Vice, I think sun-kissed Miami,
funky
neon, all that sort of like jazz. And he was just like, yeah, that's Miami Vice. I was like, no, not this Miami Vice.
Sunglasses on going, maybe we should solve this crime. Yeah, I hear you, partner.
What, they Texas Rangers now as well?
Texas Rangers in Miami. That's how it works, right? That's the the plot.
I mean, it's probably an action film we haven't watched somewhere. Texas Rangers in Miami is definitely a thing we haven't looked at yet. But it's very, very gritty, very down to earth, and very, very serious. Like, there is no room for comedy in this film. No, I can't think of any jokes. Yeah, not even, and this like
between the Crockett and Tubbs.
Yeah, so Jamie Foxx and Colin Farrell are the titular Crockett and Tubbs, and long-standing police partners, except they don't really establish camaraderie or anything like that.
They don't feel very close. Although it shows that they are, but you don't really feel it.
Yes, and I'm not sure if this is a...
They just feel a bit more like colleagues.
Yes, it's like... like, just think of, like, not your work bestie, but, like, the work acquaintance. And that's kind of how this feels. In fact, it's how it feels with, like, all of the team.
Yes, they're not very tight-knit. But they are tight-knit at the same time. It's very odd.
Maybe that's because we've been used to watching shows where, like, especially cop shows where there are like tight-knit social groups with like besties.
Well, I think even these films, some of these films are very good at showing how close these people are to each other. I mean, Charlie's Angels 1 and 2 did that very well.
Actually, yeah, you got a point there. Charlie's Angels 1 especially did that spectacularly well.
I think the A-Team also did it better than this film.
Yeah. But then again, the A-Team, before we get into it properly, like, that is... Well, it at least has an origin scene. It shows them meeting, and then...
some montages, whereas this one... But then, maybe I don't think a montage would have fit very well into this film.
No.
It was very gritty, as you said.
Yeah, it's not like the script though just isn't written well, where we get to see a lot of the reasons like why they work so well together. Like the film starts with them on in the middle of a sting operation. They're in a club trying to track down what we assumed were human traffickers.
Yeah,
or like at least they were
that. Or at least
like they were trafficking sex workers or something like that.
But
it was very unclear.
Tell if the ladies in there were happy to be there or forced to be there.
Well, I think
definitely one of them was, because she ended up getting beaten up. No idea what happened to those, because they left before they actually arrested them.
Yeah, that's the thing. They the instigating plot point of it.
So a little bit worried about those ladies.
Yeah, they leave halfway through this sting operation because one of their informants calls them and is just like, "I'm in over my head. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
I need help."
Yeah, and he basically starts up this whole kind of undercover bust of a drug ring. Is essentially the basic thing. Like Crockett and Tubbs go undercover.
They want to arrest neo-Nazis, I think, by posing as drug I don't know, traders, because it was originally to get the neo-Nazis, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, because that's who is after Alonso, who is their informant.
Yes.
And so it starts with them going after these neo-Nazis. So they pose as like arms dealers or drug dealers, something along those lines.
Drug smugglers, I guess, would be the best one, because it's quite quite a lot of drugs.
There's quite a lot of drugs.
Quite a lot of drugs, more than you'd say dealing with.
Yeah,
like a whole boatload of drugs.
Yeah, but then it quickly escalates into them like getting involved with the
drug trade.
Yeah,
really.
They kind of get the FBI. They accidentally like stumble upon like an FBI investigation, but they kind of
take
like
over a bit.
The FBI are just like, okay, you can do this, but we just have to have no knowledge of it. So I don't know.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to that part. I thought they were working together.
They are kind of working together, but it's the sort of plausible deniability. It's off the books, so the FBI can go, I don't know who these cops are.
These guys are. They're not FBI. Looks like some do-good cops.
It sounds very kind of run-of-the-mill, but at the same time it's
very intense.
It's intense and it's overly convoluted, I think it's its problem.
Very, very complicated, to the point where I was like, so what's happening now, friends?
Yeah, so what are we doing? Why are we in Cuba? Why are we in Cuba?
Were they in Cuba? I thought they were in Colombia.
There is a bit in Colombia, because that's where the big head honcho is.
Right.
But there is a large swath of the film in Cuba, because that's where Colin Farrell goes and falls in love halfway through the film.
See, I thought that was Colombia. Yes.
No, that's Cuba. It's one of the weirdest elements of the film.
Yeah, the film sort of stops being gritty action film for a while and turns into more of a rom-com without the com.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, because they have a meeting...
Just a regular romance, really, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Rom-com without the com.
A rom-com without... Yeah, that's what happens. I'm remembering the scene now, because they have a meeting with the head honcho at a house in Miami. And then the very next thing that happens, literally as they're all leaving this meeting, is Colin Farrell and Gong Li, who plays like the head honcho's assistant, Isabella.
Yeah.
They both just fuck off on a boat to Cuba.
Yeah, he was like, "Can I take you out somewhere?" And she's like, "I know this great little restaurant. By the way, it's in Cuba."
And because apparently she just hides out in Cuba every now and then, like living with her grandma and like.
Is that her grandma?
I thought so. I think it was if not grandma, like great aunt or some shit, like great relation. But it's they're powering through this undercover sting operation. Jamie Foxx has a girlfriend, Trudy, who's played by Naomi Harris, who is very good in the film, but she's gets involved in it as well.
Like the drug dealers are sending her flowers.
Yeah, but like all the members of this police squad, their Miami Vice unit or whatever it is, are all getting involved in this undercover operation, and they're building trust. They do like 2 operations for them, And then the film just like stops
to have this weekend romance. Of these two in Cuba.
And it's I would say a good like 20 minutes of the film.
It's a good third of it.
Yeah, where like Colin Farrell, who has been this sort of like lone wolf, bit off the handle sort of person.
He doesn't settle down, man.
Yeah, it just stops, and him and Gong Li fuck off to Cuba, have sex a bunch, and then just become an item.
They dance through the night. They go out for restaurants. They talk. It's a proper romance.
It's a proper romance, and then they kind of remember.
This film.
Yeah, and then they kind of remember. Oh shit, the drugs, and they go back to Miami.
Yeah, then they go back to Miami, and Jamie Foxx is like, "You've been away a while. Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine."
Yes, like, what are you doing? Why is she on the boat? And it's just like, it's a thing. It's just like, it cannot be a thing.
Maybe you shouldn't get involved. And he's like, no, it's fine.
See, the way we're talking about it, the way we're starting to describe it, is like, it could very easily be played comedically. Like, it could be played with that sort of just like slightly absurdity. Like, what the hell are you doing sleeping with the enemy? You know, like, yeah.
He has a talk with him, and then they agree to drop it because they could not agree on anything else.
They don't agree on anything throughout the entire film.
I don't know. They agree to go undercover as drug smugglers, and
then they agree to go and rescue. Probably the highlight of the film is they agree to go and rescue Trudy.
Trudy gets kidnapped by the neo-Nazis. Kind of saw that coming.
Yes, they do.
Even Trudy saw that coming.
Even Trudy was just like, well, shit. Yeah. So, the speed at which they find Trudy is also quite stupid. We had that moment, like, watching the film where they're just like, there is no way they found them that quickly.
How did they do it again? They knew, because they said, I want to speak to Trudy. And she's like, blah, 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 trailer trash. So they're like, okay, she's in a trailer. It must be this one. Yeah, and then it was.
Yeah. It's their police captain is flying in a helicopter. And then he just goes, there's a trailer park by the airport, as if it's the only trailer park in Miami.
They showed the plane go by, but they didn't have the sound of a plane on the phone. So they couldn't even use that as I heard the sound of a plane. So it must be that trailer park by the airport. No, nothing like that.
It does, however, lead to the best bit of the film, which is that kind of tense.
Yes.
It's the tense neo-Nazi assault, essentially. They assault the trailer camp and go in and rescue Trudy.
Badass lady rescues Trudy.
Yes, the
best
badass
character
lady
in the film.
Which,
how did she do it again? She said something badass. What was it?
Yeah, I don't remember what she says, and I'm annoyed because I didn't have enough time.
She says some people try and skate uphill.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to skate uphill.
That's what she said. No, she didn't. She was like, she says, I'll shoot you in the cranium and then your brain won't even send a message to your hand, or something like that.
Shoot me. She dies. Shoot me. Go ahead. Fuck it, we can all go. That's cool.
That's not what happens. What will happen is I will put a round at 2,700 feet per second into the medulla at the base of your brain, and you will be dead from the neck down before your body knows it. Your finger won't even twitch. Only you get dead. So tell me, sport, do you believe that?
Hey.
Oh yeah, because she's got like this kind of bomb wrapped around her neck, Trudy does, and like this neo-Nazi basically has his finger on the trigger.
Yeah.
And he's just like, if I push this button, she's dead. And this woman, it's an actress called Elizabeth Rodriguez.
She's amazing.
Playing Gabriella. But up until this point of the film, she's had like nothing to do. She's not really
She's been there, but
she's
I don't
been
know what
there.
she's
You've seen
doing.
her in but
she's been around.
But the main like people who've been instigating the plot, Jamie Foxx, Colin Farrell, Naomi Harris. Trudy has been instigating little bits and pieces of it, but none of the other characters have really taken a lead. And then out of nowhere comes Gabriella.
Oh man.
And then she's just like, you won't get a chance to push that trigger. I'll put a bullet in you before you hit the ground.
And the guy's just like, you won't be able to do. And then she just shoots him before he finishes that sentence.
You won't do that, and it's poof, and you're like, oh fuck!
And she rescues Trudy, who then gets a little bit blown up anyway.
Yes, because it's conspired. It turned again in one of the film's very unnecessary twists. It turns out the neo-Nazis were being controlled by one of the the drug kingpins, I guess.
Mr.
And then
Glasses.
they have a security camera and they find out that she's escaped, so they blow the place up and blah blah yada yada.
I don't understand the bad guy's motives even now.
It's just drugs and money, but
I don't know why he turned against them.
I
thought he might have been jealous of Colin's lady, whose name I forgot. Mrs. Businesswoman.
Mrs. Business Isabel. Oh yeah, she does just describe herself as a businesswoman.
So that's what I called her for the rest of the film. Businesswoman.
Yeah. She doesn't give them her name. She just goes, "I'm a businesswoman," and he's like, "Okay. Hello, Miss Businesswoman."
The name's woman. Businesswoman.
I need to write a character somewhere just called Miss Businesswoman, like pro golfer. I need to make businesswoman.
Yeah. So she's a businesswoman, and I think it was jealousy of Colin Farrell and businesswoman.
Yeah,
the reason
essentially.
That I don't know, just seemed like a stupid thing to do. But then I've never been in love.
Wow, that's a bold statement there.
There we go.
Dear.
Maybe it's because I've never met businesswoman.
Yeah,
maybe I'd know what they were talking about if I met her.
If you met businesswoman, maybe it would all be okay. But you haven't met businesswoman, so it's not okay.
So it's not okay. I'll never know.
This is the thing. The only other thing I can really say about this film, I mean, it's kind of serviceable plot twisty thriller, but I mean the practical effects are very good. When they do have the shootouts, and there didn't seem to be any CGI.
It was a very competently made film.
Yeah, it's just.
I think if you're in the mood for a really gritty thriller, you'd probably like this.
Yeah,
even if it is a bit over the top.
I don't think it's even over the top plot wise. I think probably the reason we didn't really.
I wanted something a little bit more silly. I think. I
think it wasn't as actiony as it could have been.
It was action, especially the end. I think it just wasn't goofy enough.
Yeah, we do like our goofiness. I do
like like John Wick, great film. Bit goofy, isn't it?
Just a tad,
just a tad bit goofy. That's what I prefer in my action film. Little bit of goofiness. Whereas this was very, very serious. Which is fine. It's just not for me.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give it a C, and not through really any fault of its own. It's just not quite what we expected it to be.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a B for the same reason. I think if someone really likes those sorts of films, they would really like this film.
Yeah, it's
except
more of
maybe the romance subplot.
The romance subplot does not make a lick of sense.
The rom without the com, as I like to call them.
Hey, rom without the com.
Rom nom com.
A film that has pretty much no rom, but all of the com, though, moving on, is the A-Team.
You're right, it doesn't have a lot of rom. Oh no,
it has a lot of com. It doesn't have a lot of rom.
Yeah. So, yes, loving the A-Team.
Loving the A-Team. What is the plot, Lottie? I'm not forgetting. I'm not forgetting this bit of it. Okay,
are you ready? I shall only say this about 5 times.
And scene.
A group of Iraq War veterans look to clear their name with the US military, who suspect the 4 men of committing a crime for which they were framed.
First time!
Oh, I'm such a badass!
Oh, yeah, you give yourself a pat on the back for that one.
That was an A-team effort for me.
Hey, there we go. Right, IMDb are actually more generous to this than Miami Vice. They give it 6.7 out of 10.
Maybe they prefer the goofiness.
Yeah. Metacritic, not so much. It's only a 47 out of 100. Just dips below average.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because it was too much CGI for them.
I mean, there's quite a lot of CGI.
But I think what they wanted to achieve, they would probably have killed someone if they hadn't used CGI.
Yeah, I don't think Bradley Cooper signed on for a death film.
That was the last film he ever made.
Yeah. I mean, having not seen the A-Team, but knowing...
Oh, I have.
You know, the theme song.
Yeah, the A-Team, it's basically the beginning is someone's hired them to either, you know, rescue a relative or to stop people harassing someone, and they go over there and stop that person using like homemade, you know, explosives and stuff. Homemade assault weapons and good old fashioned fun, and it's all very goofy and entertaining. And I do the few episodes I've watched, I've probably only watched about 5. I very much enjoyed them.
You make it sound like a sort of MacGyver-ish kind of deal.
Yeah, because they, you know, they can't really go to a shop because they are fugitives on the run. Well, at least 3 of them are. I think one of them was declared clinically insane, so he's off scot-free. They just
that'll be
they kidnap him occasionally from the veterans hospital of which he lives. They just go in there pretending to be doctors and then just take him out to go fly planes, which is a bit probably shouldn't have done that, but there we go.
They're the A-Team. They don't give a shit.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's one thing they didn't do in this film is kidnap someone from a hospital.
I mean,
I don't think he was declared insane in this film either.
No, but so the instigating thing, of course, is, you know, they are framed for killing a general or something, aren't they? They're framed for
a robbery. So
robbery of like minting plates.
Yes.
Money minting plates, and then of course their general dies.
But I don't.
But it's all
I
a
think
setup.
It was more of a manslaughter. They were accused of putting him in a position to be killed rather than killing themselves.
But they're all split up into these individual like prisons.
Which I guess just military prison different. Actually, you know what? I think Murdoch was put in a hospital rather than a prison.
Yes, and that's what I was about to say.
He did get off.
Yeah, Murdoch, because they do.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do. They Murdoch is in an insane asylum, basically.
He's in an institution of some
sort. He's in a loony bin, as we like to say. But yeah, they bust a car through the wall.
They drive a car, which is quite dangerous. You know, these people, they probably, you know, they're not very well.
Yeah, they're not well.
They're not
it's
very
all in
well.
3D.
It's a bit different if it was maybe through a prison, because those men hopefully are well. Although thinking about it, they're probably also not very well. But that's a conversation for a different time and different people.
I mean, this film though is like, it's pretty much exactly what you expect it to be from 2010's action films.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah, it is.
It's
loud,
me any
it's
weird
silly.
Curveballs. It was great fun. Everything was way too over the top.
There's the tank scene, isn't there?
Everything was over the top, and I really enjoyed it. I like the fact that they flew a tank.
They fly a tank. They fly a tank, and
they destroy a shipping container, and or every single one of those. Containers.
They blow up a boat with like 7,000 shipping containers on it, and
every single product on that boat is probably damaged beyond repair.
So many children's Christmas toys are not getting
and quite a few cars.
Oh yeah, there are quite a few cars in that as well.
But I really liked that scene.
I will say there's 2 things, like the tank scene is obviously amazing. Them flying a tank through the air.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be the downer, but the 2 things that I don't think the more I think about this, the more I think, why did they do this? And it's making B.A. Baracus a pacifist for most of the film.
I feel like they wanted him to go through a personal journey, but they didn't really invest him enough time in it.
And again, this might be something from that, because
he becomes a pacifist in prison, and then he decides not to be by the end.
Yeah, and it's basically the very first opportunity he gets in the finale to kind of go nuts and wreck someone up. He does it. And you're like, because he goes through most of the
Hannibal's
film.
Trying to convince him that it's okay to punch people. And I think in the end he was like, you know what, it is okay to punch people, and then does it.
And then does it. Yeah, because, like, he does spend most of the film just being like, I have a very easy chance to shoot this fool and not, like, and, you know, save the day and stop the rest of this film from happening. And he just doesn't. And you're like, why?
I think they just needed an obstacle for him and they couldn't think of anything else.
Yes, but the film could have...
It's a bit lazy.
The film could have worked, like, even better if you had all four of them firing on all cylinders and you could have had some quite elaborate and exciting chase sequences. And if, you know...
Well, they destroyed the van, which was very upsetting. Within the first 5-10 minutes of the film, it was gone.
I forgot about the van.
Yeah, I didn't, because I liked that van.
The van is... Yeah, the van is oddly iconic, and they destroy it first thing.
Made it in the van with... Hannibal and BA.
Oh, yeah, it's only because BA was driving it as well.
And then it got destroyed. Maybe Face made it there, but it got destroyed before they got to Murdoch.
Yeah. It's just such an odd, like... And again, I think it's Quinton Rampage Jackson, I want to say.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go. Quinton Rampage Jackson, who has, like... more so than anyone else in this film, has the unenviable task of filling the shoes of Mr. T. Like,
I think it's very hard, because Mr. T is quite a big, imposing figure, and he's also a big, imposing character.
Yeah, more so than anyone else from the A-Team.
Everyone knows Mr. T before they know any of the others.
Exactly.
Like, I heard of Mr. T before I watched the show.
Yeah, everyone, like, he was on adverts all over the place. He's just on all these talk shows or just...
outfit, the denim and all the gold.
So, like,
Great.
for Quinton Jackson to kind of step into that role. And, like, when the hecticness of the film gets going, they all... I think, like, you get the feeling that they all actually kind of got on with each other, because there is a lot... Either it's just really cut together very well in terms of, like,
There's
audio
a lot
and
camaraderie.
Yeah,
if that is the word.
Camaraderie. Yes, that's a good way. But there is a lot of, like. The only other thing I would say is that B.A. Baracus' character is kind of used as this sort of, like, weakling punching bag, which I find a bit weird. Like, at most of the film, he's afraid of.
Did he?
No, a metaphorical punching bag. Okay. Because most of the film he's afraid of flying.
Oh, that is a thing from the original TV show.
Is it?
He was terrified of flying. That's why him and Murdoch didn't get on very well. So they used to have to knock him out. They'd be like, drink this milk, BA. And he'd drink it, and then it was like a sedative in there. It'd knock him out, and then he'd wake up, and they'd already landed. So that is a thing.
That makes it a bit better, because I felt like a lot of this film revolved around tricking B.A. Baracus into planes.
Yeah,
and, like,
that is
there's
the thing.
There's no way he's going to get... There's no way he's going to do this next mission, because we can't get him in a fucking plane. And
then he'd always say, no, man, I'm driving. And they'd be like, of course we're driving. Here, have this cookie.
Yeah.
And then he'd wake up there.
Yeah, and all the missions in the film would then result in him being airlifted out of there against his will.
Yes. It's not a very nice way to treat him, but it was incredibly funny.
No. The problem... Oh, I was supposed to say, that's the weird one.
Yeah.
Like, B.A. Baracus being a pacifist was, like, the weird thing.
The pacifist one, I mean, they could have just got him to get over his fear of flying rather than to get over his fear of punching people. That one would have probably been better. But never mind.
It could have been a really funny beat if when he breaks out of prison...
He was being flown and they somewhere, like Con Air.
If they go and find Murdoch, and the way they get Murdoch is... they get him into a plane and B.A. Baracus flies them out of there. And, like, Murdoch's just like,
well, I think
the fuck are you doing?
Well, no, they'd have to get over it at the end of the film. Couldn't get over it midway.
Yeah, but that could be, like...
Everything has to be resolved at the end, Fred.
But there could be that playful banter in the plane as they're escaping about, why do you know how to fly a plane? Oh, my God.
I feel like he'd rip his face off and it was just Drew Barrymore.
No, for that to happen, they have to be played by LL Cool J.
Right. Maybe LL Cool J could fly the plane instead?
Unfortunately, Quinton Jackson does not get to turn into Drew Barrymore whenever they feel like it, unfortunately. That's only a power LL Cool J has.
It's a pretty cool power, actually.
It is actually quite a cool power.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got onto this.
That was my fault.
As the only...
I was thinking of Charlie's Angels.
Of Charlie's Angels again.
Because they jump out of a plane.
The only other thing I would say about it, one, Jessica Biel is not given much to do. Jessica Biel plays a police officer who's or another FBI agent that's after them.
No, she's the military police, I think. I think that's what she is. Military police, yeah.
Okay.
The military.
I thought she was FBI.
The military have their own police. No, because she kept being called captain. Then she got demoted to lieutenant, and then she got promoted again to captain. I got a feeling she was military police, and then Lynch was FBI.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, Jessica Biel is not given a lot to do.
No, I don't.
Basically, chasing the tails of the A-Team.
And then helping them in the end. I guess she was the one who needed to eventually turn around to their side in order to help them.
Oh yeah, because there's a subplot line going through the history between her character and Face.
Yes.
Was that they used to date, and then it's implied early on that he left.
No, it's implied that he wanted to get serious and she didn't. Which seems a bit like the opposite of probably what actually happened.
But that's the thing. In the beginning of the film, when they get given this mission that they're framed for, it is implied that she wanted to get serious and he left, but she's lying about it because later on in the film they do the switcheroo and they properly explain it, and Face has this confrontation with her where he's basically like, you were the one that left and I wanted to get serious. And it's meant to be this sort of gender swap kind of, the woman is in the wrong.
Well, no, I think it was more of a, he's a ladies' man, but he wanted to settle for her and blah, blah, blah.
Also that, yes, but...
Total switcheroo there. It's a bit like Face being it's a bit like BA being a pacifist, really.
Yeah. So one thing that's kind of just that's an interesting little subplot, but we don't care.
So they've given everyone a little subplot except for Hannibal and Murdoch.
Yeah, so they've given two characters.
So just two of them.
Yeah. Hannibal and Murdoch were just their own
They were just happy
things.
to be there.
Yeah. Murdoch was always happy to be everywhere. He's a complete fucking fool.
He's a bit crazy, but he can speak fluent Swahili, so...
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about the Swahili scene.
Yeah, it was very weird. They got their passports mixed up. He was supposed to be like a rabbi, and BA was supposed to be like a Swahili minister.
Yeah, and they got their passports mixed. Yeah.
And they thought, no.
I don't think there's anything quite as cringy comedy-wise as some of the other films. I was trying to think of some of the comedy beats in films that we've just been like, ugh, that's not good. I mean, the Dukes of Hazzard one.
Yeah, this one wasn't that funny, but you'd be like, fair enough.
Yeah, they're trying to just have a little a downtime comedic beat through, throughout the film.
It could have been worse from what other things we've seen is what we've
it could have
learned.
Been a lot worse.
Our standards have dropped.
The bar has been lowered and keeps getting lowered with each passing week.
But it's a very fun film. I don't think you need to watch the TV show to have a good time. I mean,
I certainly didn't. No.
The only thing maybe you need to know going in is that B.A. Baracus is afraid of planes.
Yeah. I will say the villain of the piece, Lynch.
There were kind of two. Lynch was not revealed as the villain until about halfway through.
Yeah, but
he was sort of introduced to be a bit of a weedy man, but on their side, and then it turns out he was a bit of a weedy man, not on their side.
Well, my note here says that he has a weird turn as the villain because it slightly comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Isn't that when he's on the phone to Jessica Biel, like they're having a conversation and he just kind of turns mid-conversation?
Mid-conversation, and then just so that we know that he's turned, his assistant comes in and he sexually harasses her.
Oh my god! Oh, I forgot about that bit.
So it's like, okay, now we definitely know he's the bad guy.
Yeah,
he doesn't respect women.
Yeah, I forgot about the whole, like, he just ogles her and, like, says some really derogatory things as she leaves.
Yeah, because he said, why did you... someone says, why did you hire her? And he said, well, it wasn't for her personality.
Yeah. And, like, just like, okay.
And you're like, great, okay, he's the villain, and I hate him.
Yeah, but it's like, he has, like, this weird turn because he doesn't quite know how to play it. Like and I don't know if this is direction or if it's this Patrick Wilson, the actor, being like whatever he's doing.
No Patrick Warburton.
No, but he veers. He veers between, like, being very dark and serious about it all, and then he also veers between, like,
goofy,
the dark and serious, and being, like, kind of almost John Travolta in Face Off, just being this kind of like woohoo, kind of like, I'm having a whale of a time.
He seems to really like blowing things up, and I don't think maybe he gets the opportunity to do that a lot in the FBI. So when it happens to him, he's quite pleased.
Yeah, it's just one of those very, like, again, the film tonally is light-hearted and very like action heavy, very comedic, very just like a light-hearted romp.
Just bros being bros, right?
Yeah, but like the villain does not have a consistent tone which everyone else can bounce off of.
The villains are not as good as the four main boys.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when all the reveal at the end and all the kind of, like, you know, everything is sorted out, it's just kind of like, okay, that's good.
I'm glad they were caught, but meh.
What are you gonna get? What are you gonna give this film?
I mean, despite the fact it's called A-Team, I'm actually going to give it a B.
Hey!
I think it could have been better.
Oh yeah.
If they tidied it up a little bit, it could have probably been an A tier. But it's a good solid film, and I recommend it.
Yeah. I think it is probably, and it's not spoilers, but I think it is probably the best one we saw.
Oh, definitely.
In this episode.
It was definitely the one that I enjoyed the most.
Yeah, it's a B for me as well. Like, it is, like, exactly what you expect it to be.
It's a high B, I think.
Yeah,
maybe I should
you go
change
in for
mind. Maybe it should be an A. I'm putting it as an A, Fred. I've changed my mind.
No, you can't change your mind, Lottie.
No.
No changing minds here.
Thinking about it, I'm like, actually, I really kind of did enjoy that scene with them fighting on the boats and everything's just flying everywhere.
Look, Lottie, stop stalling. We have to talk about the Avengers now.
I don't understand. Do you mean the the Avengers Assemble? I quite like that film.
I fucking wish I did. I fucking wish it 2011, 2012, but that's not, unfortunately, what we're talking about.
Little did we know that there was a film called The Avengers that came out in 1998 that should never, ever be watched.
Well, before we get into that, you read us the plot of this.
I will, but I'm telling
fire.
you what I'm saying right now. You wouldn't have guessed that was the plot if you watched it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. 2 British agents team up to stop Sir August de Winter from destroying the world of a no. No, it's gone as well as that film did. 2 British agents team up to stop Sir August de Winter from destroying the world with a weather-changing machine.
They do try. They team up to stop.
First of all, they're not 2 British agents.
One of them is. The other one is their main suspect. Yes. Oh my god.
They try and stop August de Winter, but not from destroying the world, just from destroying London's most iconic buildings. And let me tell you right now that they fail.
Yeah, they just try and stop him from destroying London because that's all he really affects.
London got messed up.
Which
Big
also
Ben,
doesn't make sense because he's based in London as well, so it makes it really stupid that...
Is he based in London? He looked like he was in the countryside. He had like a Windsor Palace sort of deal going on.
Well, I think he is based in the countryside, but at the end of the film they are fighting... They go to that random island in the middle of the Thames.
Well, that's just where they hid all of the most, the stuff they were going to destroy the world. They hid it in the place they were destroying. Yeah, that's it. August de Winter is in this base in the middle of the Thames. She's lost her mind already. I was so didn't even notice that at the time because I was just so in
shock. He hides the main weapon, like all the technology is in this secret base underneath the Middle Thames,
goodness.
and then he uses that weapon to fuck up London, where he is.
Yeah.
Anyway, backtracking a tiny bit, something should have tipped us off that things were amiss, because IMDb only give this a 3.8 out of 10.
That is too high.
I looked at the... Well, actually, straight after we watched the film, we did look at the breakdown. I did a little quick calculation before we went on recording this. 9,188 people have rated this 6 stars or up.
Were they drunk?
Were they drunk or like just blind? Maybe like.
Did they just really know?
Yeah, that was like...
I can't even.
Like,
I mean, I feel like I'm quite a generous with these films.
Yeah.
But I would not give this higher than a -1.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the lowest we can give it is a D, and you already know it's getting a double D rating from us.
Can we put it, like, on the D tier, but just kind of below the line so only the top's peeking up?
Sweep it under the rug kind of thing. Yeah,
and then let's
like,
just never speak about it ever again after this.
I mean, a lot of people share our sentiments with this film, Lottie, because Metacritic only gave it a 12 out of 100.
Also too high.
The highest review is a 40 out of 100 from Newsweek, and I'm pretty sure that's not a reputable publication after that review.
The people who gave it 6 stars were probably paid.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
Felt like they had to.
Like,
that's still the highest they gave it.
I'm not going to sugarcoat this. This is possibly, and like I haven't got the tier list up in front of me, so I don't know what other things we've got in the D tier.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's possibly the worst thing we've seen for this whole idea.
In
this
my
whole
entire life. I have seen some rubbish.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to think of a film that I'm sure I've stopped watching films before because I've just been like, oh, I don't really like this, but it's not.
I'd rather watch a boring film than this. That's how I feel about it.
So I haven't got this in my notes, but I did just remember that when we were watching it, we actually got the chance to watch this in the same room, not over Skype.
Oh, wow.
And I remember so the first 20 minutes of this film are fucking bizarre. So they set up Ray Fiennes and Uma Thurman.
I feel like it starts off promising. It starts off with John Steed doing a little sort of, was it?
Just training
obstacle
exercise.
Course? Yeah, training exercise. I'm like, okay, it's a little bit dumb, but that's what I like.
Exactly, yeah. But it has this whole like the first 20 minutes setting up the film is Ray Fiennes being John Steed getting a call being like, we need you to come in and have a look at this weather program, this weather project has gone awry. They bring in Uma Thurman, who is one of the main scientists who worked on it.
They send her a parcel. Inside the parcel is a piece of paper that says answer the phone. And then the phone rings and she picks it up.
Oh my god, that is it, yeah. And it's a box of chocolates as well. And she just happily eats the chocolates as if they couldn't possibly be poisoned.
And that's a woman who lives on the edge right there.
But, so, yeah, they bring her in and they show her this security footage of, like, this weather project getting sabotaged. And the picture that they see is her. So what this super secret spy agency has done is
recruited her to catch herself.
Yeah, is bring their best agent, Ray Fiennes, their head, which is Mother, played by Jim Broadbent, that's it.
That guy who's in everything.
Yeah, he's in the room, Ray Fiennes is in the room, and they've brought their main suspect into the room, into their base, full of all the classified information.
Tell her
and been like
exactly what happened, and then
and been like,
some tea.
Yeah, you're our prime suspect. What do you want? So you're going to work with us to try and prove that you're guilty. or innocent. We don't really care what it is. So already the plot is batshit.
At that point I was like, okay, maybe this is just like they're trying to psych her out. I was still full of hope at this point. I was like, this is an interesting way to tackle this problem. I wouldn't necessarily do it, but let's see where it goes.
And then there's a room full of bears.
There's a room full of bears. Teddy bears.
They are dressed up like
they're all different colours.
Articulated arms teddy bears. You got like toys as like a child. They're all just big life-size teddy bears who are all like.
But they're people in teddy bear costumes. We should say that.
Yeah.
And they're all different colours, and they're all sitting around a table,
being lectured.
Evil.
Yeah, but they're being lectured to by one big black bear, who is Sean Connery.
We find out because he takes his big bear head off.
Revealing
his Sean Connery-ness.
Yeah, he says no one else can know who they are. It's like, you know who I am, but I can't know who you... Well, you can't know who each other are for, like, safety or, like, security, whatever. Doesn't matter. That entire sequence where they... And it's a good, like, 5-minute sequence where the bears are all there discussing everything. I was sat in stunned silence because it comes out of nowhere.
I was a little bit freaked out at this point. I was like, what kind of film is this? Is this a horror?
Well, you mentioned, I think halfway through the scene, that have we got the right cut of this film? Have we got a fan-made cut of this film?
I think at some point I was like, have we been tricked?
Yeah, have we been tricked? That was it. Like, they're fucking with us or something. Like, is
this the right film?
It's just like... Because then...
That scene ends.
Almost immediately after that scene, we paused and we were just like...
killed. He was like, does anyone, if you want out, let us know now. And these two little teddy bear hands rise in the cutest way possible. But it looks really sinister.
Yeah, it's just like...
And then those two teddy bears get shot with... I feel like they're not bullets. They're like tranq guns, almost.
It's so
but
Sean Connery...
And then the teddy bears just fall. But you think, how could that possibly have really penetrated this teddy bear suit? Are they really teddy bears? Is this what they're trying to say? I don't know.
Throughout the film, Sean Connery his character has like a little lapel of like, or brooch that has like these little darts on it, and he occasionally tries to use them to like tranquilize people.
I think they're like poisonous.
Yeah,
but you just die.
Yeah, it's sort of like his Bond villain motif, as it were, because it's slightly what they're doing is trying to, obviously they're playing off the Avengers sort of thing, but it's also
I must say, I don't think we mentioned it before, but neither of us have seen the Avengers.
It
was a British 60s television show, and as I said, I was born in the 1800s, but I missed this one. Also, it was in black and white.
Yeah. What I was eventually getting to is we paused this film at about like just after the bear scene. We're going to get some pizzas, start putting our food on.
You paused it, and then you turned to me, and you said something, but I can't remember what it was, but your face, Fred. I've never seen you look so done.
Well, that was it, because I didn't say anything to you then. That was it. I didn't say anything because we paused it then. We were absolutely beside ourselves. I went to put pizza on.
We realised it was 20 minutes in, at which point that was a third of the film. So I was like, okay, I think we can make it another hour.
I think we can do it. And like we put pizza on, but I told you this after the film. Like as I was putting that pizza on, I was like, I have never been so close to just being like, I can't do this. I can't watch the rest of this film.
And to be fair, I kind of wish that you had said that, because that would have spared us.
That would have spared us the rest of the film. And to people thinking it really can't be that bad. Like the one of the other worst films that gets brought up a lot, and it's not an action film, but obviously we talk about bad films, we talk about The Room,
and again,
which is
not
the
seen
Tommy
it.
Wiseau. So you could potentially recommend this film in a similar way. So in a similar way that someone will recommend The Room, you're just like, it's so bad that you honestly can't believe how it got made. You honestly can't believe, like...
I don't understand what they were going for. And it doesn't really have the excuse of The Room either.
I think The Room is unintentionally funny.
But it was made by a madman.
It was made by, Tommy Wiseau is unbelievably egocentric and just believes wholeheartedly what he's doing.
This was made by more than one person. This had Sean Connery in it. You'd think Sean Connery would pull someone aside and say, "Are you really sure you want me to wear this bear suit?"
I mean, we haven't even got into like half the thing, like, the bear... Oh, pardon me. The bear scene is...
The bear scene ends. The two heroes arrive on the scene. They find the two dead teddy bears, take off their masks like an episode of Scooby-Doo, and like, oh, it's him and his assistant. And they were identical men in those suits.
They were the same person,
and
yes.
we'd also never seen them before, so when they were mentioning who they were, I was like, were we supposed to know? Also, those men look exactly the same. And
yes, that's Terry.
I don't care. It's like, oh, it's the Minister of Climate and his assistant, John.
It's like, yes, those people we've definitely known for half of the film already. Oh, no, wait, we haven't.
But why were they there? I don't know. Why were they dressed as bears? I don't know.
And this is the thing, like...
How did the other bears escape this building without being seen by Uma Thurman and John? Don't know.
Yeah.
Eddie Izzard's there sometimes.
Eddie Izzard is in the film. Eddie Izzard is in the film. I forgot he was in the film completely.
He does not have any speaking lines.
No. Oh my god, he's the one that controls the robot bees.
He controls some robot bees, which I've just remembered that were in here. The robot bees come out of nowhere. They fly around and they never make another appearance.
They fly around. They have machine guns attached on them. There's a car chase sequence with the bees, where Steed and Peel try to avoid the bees and blow up a bunch of them. And Eddie Izzard is chasing them in a Mini Cooper,
and
kind of controlling them.
Tea at the same time as avoiding bees. Someone's going to get burnt.
That's the least of this film's problems. I think it could have been probably saved by a stint in a hospital or something. It's fucking like, I think the main point that I came away from with this film and like thinking about it, and I've got this in relation to the other Emma plot that's in this film, where like throughout the film there is bad Emma.
There's bad Emma. You can tell she's bad because her eyes are amber.
Yeah.
But she wears sunglasses a lot, so it's also she wears a lot of leather.
But yeah, for some reason there is another Uma Thurman in the film wandering around, assisting the bad guys, just being mischievous, not really ever doing anything of consequence.
People in the throat and then running away.
Yeah.
And then pushing some buttons and then running away.
Yeah.
And then pretending to be Emma and then running away.
But
and then
it is never, ever explained at any point why there is another Emma. Is she a clone? Is she a robot? Is she a double agent? Is she a twin?
Is she a long-lost
Who
twin?
fucking knows?
We don't know. We never find out.
Yeah.
She just kind of dies.
She just kind of gets blown up on that.
Regular Emma blows her up along with Mother.
No, Father. Remember the gender swapped.
Sorry.
It's the gender swapped head of the
Mrs.
Who again?
Dursley.
Fiona Shaw.
So
Fiona Shaw and Jim Broadbent.
She's supposed to be blind, but she was also flying that hot air balloon. I think the writers sometimes forgot that she was supposed to be blind.
Oh, she was totally flying that hot air balloon.
Yeah, she was.
Oh my god, what? How?
No wonder it crashed.
Yeah, Uma Thurman didn't actually need to do anything to that blimp. Like, you had a blind woman flying the blimp. Like, what did you think was going to happen?
She was a double agent. Turns out she was in love with Sean Connery. I mean, aren't we all?
I mean, yeah.
But that's no reason to blow up London.
I can't even
or fly a blimp into a building.
If this conversation seems erratic, it's only because this film is, and if you start pulling at one thread of what's wrong with it, like, the whole thing comes with you. Like, you can't just pull at a thread and unpick that one thing. Like, everything is weirdly so inextricably linked
But also not.
Yeah, but not explained as to why it's linked. But, you know, we went on that thing of like, oh yeah, other Emma is never, bad Emma is never explained. She just gets blown up in the blimp. Oh, the blimp flown by the blind woman that's somehow in love with Sean Connery and is also leader of the same agency that Rave... Like, it just all comes together in this great ball of unexplained shit. And like...
And also...
oh God.
Also, every conversation that Steele and Peel have...
It's an innuendo. It's just innuendo after innuendo, but serves nothing.
Of back and forth banter, really, really quickly, that isn't important to the plot. They're just talking, chat, then something happens. Chat, then something happens.
Yeah, but it's not even like chatting as in like making sure the audience is informed of what's going on. It's like they kind of half do it, and then they kind of half just...
It's kind of like a farce.
Innuendo all the time. They just innuendo.
It's like a carry-on film.
It's almost like as fast... I could understand it if it was trying to maybe be like a piss take of a Bond film. Like if you were trying to do...
Like a parody.
If you were trying to parody
I don't
James
think this
Bond.
Is a parody.
No, because this is meant to be like a serious...
Avengers came out before the first James Bond film, didn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know how they would parody that.
Yeah, but if you like, I don't know, like film adaptations and like you can morph them into being, different adaptations can take on different roles and all that sort of stuff. Every sort of iteration of a Marvel superhero is different than the last in terms of comic book forms and all that sort of stuff.
Don't bring the Avengers into this.
Don't bring the Avengers into this. Yeah, don't sully their good name
with the Avengers.
Sully their good name, sir. Yeah.
But the only time that the main character got angry was when someone put a hole in his hat. And he was
Is that right at the end, isn't it?
Right at the end, he was like, "You've gone too far, sir."
Oh yeah, Ralph Fiennes actually shows like a little bit of emotion.
He looked really cross.
Yeah, and this is the thing.
And he never even wore that hat except for in the opening scene. I didn't realise he was that attached to it.
It's such a major misfire on all cylinders, and it's made even more surprising by the fact that all the actors in it, Ralph Fiennes, Uma Thurman, Jim Broadbent, Fiona Shaw, Sean Connery, have been in such like stellar films. You kind of
expected more.
It's a completely baffling film. I do not understand how it came together the way it did. Like, I'm just dumbfounded. It's a D tier film. Like, for God knows why.
I don't even think it belongs in the tier list, but we have to put it somewhere. We did watch it. It was action. It was action. It was mystery, as in it's a mystery how this film ever got. Not like they didn't show the Batgirl film because they thought it wasn't good enough. Why didn't they do this to the Avengers? 1998.
Well, after we watched it, we kind of trawled through the IMDb trivia, and it was interesting to see like
the original plot.
Well, the original plot won, but the release of it, like I've seen this happen with video games, like in more recent years, but like it was interesting reading about this in terms of just like I think was it Warner Brothers or Universal that released this? I can't remember.
Warner Brothers.
But like they didn't have like a red carpet showing.
No one
they didn't have a press showing of it.
They didn't want them to know.
Yeah, so they just released it with like little to no fanfare,
and hoped for the best.
I can't remember that having happened with a film. There might be other stories of it, but I can't remember another film.
Going for it, I guess, were people who remembered the 1960s version of the Avengers and the 1970s New Avengers.
Yeah, but
which had lovely Joanna Lumley in it. They didn't ask her to be in this film. Maybe she was smart enough to say no.
I'm sure they probably asked some of the people to be in this film.
I'm sure they would have asked Joanna Lumley. It's Joanna Lumley.
It's
probably
Joanna
asked her to be
Lumley.
father, and she was probably like, nah.
Yeah, just look at the script and was just like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm busy with Absolutely Fabulous.
I think the script was originally meant to explain why there was a bad Emma.
Yeah, but they were probably meant to explain like about 700 different things in that film, and they just didn't. They just didn't.
I watched the trailer for this film shortly before recording, and I've got to say the trailer does a really good job of trying to make a story out of this. So if you just want to watch the trailer, that gives a good story.
Yeah, that gives a far better impression than the film does.
You just don't watch the film.
Yeah.
Please, everyone, spare yourselves. Do not watch this.
Yeah, I think that's probably even other things we've put on the D tier. Like there is some redeemable quality to it. There is something that we latch onto that is so funny, or just the 8-hour drive around Tokyo.
I didn't think I gave that a D, did I?
Yeah, we gave Jumper a D.
Oh gosh, I would.
The 8-hour drive around Tokyo. Yeah.
Well, this one had the teddy bears that weren't at all sinister and came out of nowhere.
Nowhere, and then they never return.
No, because they all died, Fred.
Yeah, they all die very slowly and in different places.
Those teddy bears never did have their picnic.
I mean, look, even though I know I'm not going to enjoy one of the films on next week's episode, I know for a fact that it's better than this.
I'm going to enjoy all 3 films. I am determined.
Okay, so the next episode we have Dragon Ball Evolution.
Great film.
Are you sure? Have you seen it before, Lottie?
Yes.
Have you seen it before, Lottie?
Yes, I have.
Are you sure?
I do remember seeing it before.
You remember seeing Dragon Ball Evolution and liking it?
Yeah, I liked it. It's a great film. It's got little Goku, but he's a teenager now.
We were watching different films.
And it ends in a volcano. Piccolo's a little bit pale.
Piccolo is Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, he's not very green, but he's okay.
Yeah.
It's a good film, everyone.
It's not. She'll be singing a different tune next week.
I am determined to love all these films.
Oh my god, Starsky and Hutch is the only one the next episode I'm kind of looking forward to.
I probably won't like that one.
I'm kind of looking forward to it if it's it's Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn. When they were on fire, and Snoop Dogg as well. Like when they were on their form, they were good. They were very funny. I can't believe you still haven't seen Dodgeball.
I don't understand what that is.
Oh god,
what is Dodgeball? Is that like Bulldog?
Bulldog?
Yeah. You ever played Bulldog when you were in school?
No. Oh, I mean, I don't have time to get into this right now, Lottie. And then the other one we got to watch is Thunderbirds.
Best film ever!
Fuck off.
Thunderbirds are go!
Oh my god.
Busted sung the theme song. Everyone remembers Busted. Great early to mid 2000s boy band.
Everyone does remember Busted. I'm not surprised because
also known for their top hit Year 3000.
Yeah, for some say what you want about Busted and the weird left turn that Charlie Simpson took into Fight Star after that, which if you haven't gone and listened to Fight Star, just keep Busted in mind and then go listen to Fight Star and think, what the fuck? This was the lead guy. It's like proper heavy stuff as well. It's really funny. But anyway, Busted did the theme song. They did make some bangers.
They made some bangers. Like the one I go to
for
school
all the
for,
people rag on Busted now, they did make some bangers. They're creepy.
Very much enjoyed them.
They're creepy to listen to now.
What,
the lyrics are quite creepy, Lottie.
Except for Thunderbirds a go. That one's not creepy to listen to.
I don't think I actually dislike the song in general, but my god, this film.
It's fine. It's just like a little reminds me of a Disney Channel original movie, actually.
Right, well, I'm going to leave that there for now because that just sets it up perfect. Oh my god, that'll be another 2 weeks or something.
So looking forward to this.
Oh my god. really...
3 great films.
I really hope you're going to have...
No Avengers.
No Avengers. Never again.
Never again. I didn't say it was a D, but it is a D.
It is absolutely a D film.
It's D, right at the bottom of the list, slightly on fire.
It's slightly on fire. It's been trampled on a bunch.
And then we're just never going to ever talk about this again.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. But by God, I never want to watch The Avengers again. If anyone ever suggests it, I will immediately unfriend them.
I'm gonna go and never speak about it again. The end.
The end. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.